Alright, welcome back to the channel. On this episode we're going to be getting the VK all ready for its first burnout, which is in about 4 weeks time. I've entered an event which is at Mary or Hampton Downs, one of the two. It's called Chrome. So we need to address a couple of things on this car. It works. Used one of these before, but pretty cool. But yeah, there were a couple of things that the guy mentioned to me that I should do before I go and try and do a minute skid. So yeah, here's the dyno figures. That was our final run. But what was the concerning thing was my fuel pressure would drop. So the fuel pressure would start the run, there it is there, about 4 psi, about 5 psi, and then it drops off to below 4. He was saying that I want to have a consistent fuel pressure throughout the whole run, so he said that was about an 8-second pull on the dyno. So if I was to be sitting on, limiter for a whole minute, that fuel pressure might drop too low and then the motor might lean out. So I'm gonna put this fuel cell in, just a 20-litre fuel cell, and just run like an external 044 fuel pump, and then just kind of dial that down on the fuel pressure rig to hopefully have that run a consistent. I think it's 7 psi. I think we're chasing. So I'm gonna do that. Steam port kit. Pretty basic sort of mod in these sort of engines, just to stop the hot spots that they can get. That's just a bolt-on part. What else? Gauges. I need some gauges because I want to be able to see if this thing has lost oil pressure or the water temp is getting too high that I need to pull out of the skid. So I've got a couple of gauges to stick in there as well. So not too much to do. Fuel system gauges, steam port, and then I really want to do a bit of a test skid somewhere, just so I don't go to this comp and figure out there's something wrong that could have been sorted at home. So hopefully I can find a spot to do a test skid. And another thing, I had to get a fresh set of carbies for this motor. The ones that were on it were not double pumpers. And these are, Holly, what are they, 450, I think they are, 650, I can't remember what he said they were. I'm all new to this carby stuff, but yeah, I think they were, must have been 650 double pumper Hollies. So that's what we've got. Runs all good now. All right, let's crack into some work. All right, next on the list is a LS steam port kit. Not overly expensive, maybe 150 bucks, but it just comes with all the fittings, all the pipes that you need for the kit. And essentially what it does, it just connects up the 4 water galleries that are on top of the motor, and that just all connects into one hose and one pipe, and then that just goes back to your radiator hose. What it does is it just helps with bleeding the system and getting rid of any air pockets which may create hot spots in the motor, which you don't want. So yeah, for the sake of 150 bucks or whatnot, it's just a bit of insurance again, I guess, with your motor. So got to stick one of those on, and let's crack on in. So yeah, as part of the kit they give you this little person, little man, but yeah, you need to mount all these things on yourself. So yeah, just gonna bang a bit of the old thread sealant on. They do give you this Temu spec tape, so we're gonna flag that and just use the good old Loctite thread sealant. So I'll screw all these on and get those rigged up. So there's my little water man, ready to transfer some water. These things, once again, bit of thread tape, bit of this stuff, bit of this stuff, and those just screw into there. But you got to stop it on the right angle, so I may even, yeah, I'm not too sure yet. Don't know. To be honest, I would have thought they would have given you a bit of an O-ring for that, but they haven't, so RTV it's going to be. Bit of a shame, but anyway, we'll make do. Alright, we got there in the end. All hooked up. Steam port kit, all four corners. Now it is a bit of a Temu spec kit. I probably would get the, I don't know, slightly better kit next time. It does all fit up, but it's just all a bit, you know, a bit Temu spec. All these bends aren't, you know, bang on and that sort of thing. But yeah, there's a lot of fittings that have the potential to leak. So I think all up, there's like 24. You know, 1, 2, 3 there. 6, 9, 12 times 2, because there's another hole lot up in that tree there. Like 24 fittings to hopefully not leak. But yeah, that's all done. Just got to connect this pipe up to this radiator hose. There's a little fitting in the bottom there that I'm going to whip out and stick one of these multi-port adapter things in there. So that's going to chill up in the bottom there. And then I can run my steam port to that. I can run my coolant temp gauge sensor to that, and also plug that one back in there, which is running the electric water pump. So yeah, that's all in. I'll get this all sussed out, and then I might just run it up to make sure it's not leaking. And then yeah, crack on to something else. Right, I've just pulled this out of the radiator hose. I don't know what you call it, but it must be like a little sensor plate, sandwich plate. Don't know. But yeah, someone has tapped that out to a much bigger size to obviously suit this temperature sensor here. But that's all good, because I did buy a tap set for this little MPT thread, so I'm just going to drill a hole in the side of this, tap that into there, and call it good. Alright, there she is, all rigged up. Got the hose on there for the steam port kit. And I put this big thing here, but I probably shouldn't have. I'm having second thoughts. I probably should have put this fitting in the top here, or here, and maybe just put this sensor, which is for my gauge that I'm going to run it inside. I could have put that in the bottom of this, or maybe even in the radiator. So not super stoked on that, but I'm not going to change it now. I'm just going to leave it. It's still going to work and do everything that it should, so we'll just leave it like that. But yeah, it is a bit ugly. What next? So I can't bleed the system yet because I haven't finished my fuel system. I do just need to run oil pressure sensor, so I might just chuck that in now. Pretty simple, really. Just got one of these adapters, so I'll take it out of the bag. So it's just like a stack-on adapter sort of system. You put that in the engine, that's where your factory sensor goes in, and there's your little MPT thread there for the sensor that's required for the gauge. Or actually, this is a mechanical gauge, so it's not a sensor, it's for, yeah, this pipe that I'm going to run all the way into the cab. So yeah, I'm going to chuck that on, and then yeah, probably should have a bit of a tidy up. So that there is the main reason why I'm changing this tank. If I was to pop a tyre, that's where all my rubber and wire and anything else that comes off that wheel is going to go. So this tank's coming out. Easy as 4 bolts. And then yeah, it should just be one plug. right, one fuel tank extraction, 2 bolts, chop those off, unplug, good to go. So I just got to pretty much send that into the boot, get rid of these, get rid of the filler neck, and then yeah, start mounting up that fuel cell. All right, so this is what we're working with. Nice blank canvas. So what I've gone and got myself is a 20 litre Aeroflow fuel cell. 20 litre, that's all I really need. I'm only going to be running 98 fuel for now, so 20 litres is plenty. Now it does have one of these drop down pieces on them, which is kind of cool. It almost acts like a bit of a surge tank, and these tanks do come baffled. So for the price, I reckon it's a pretty good bit of kit. 20 litre baffled, little kind of drop down piece there, acts as a bit of a surge. And yeah, now I do have a whole bunch of old fuel pumps from various projects. So I'm just gonna grab one of these. I think they're mostly 044s. So we'll grab those, make one of those work. We only need one. We only need one because I don't need a lift pump. So I'm just gonna pretty much run a line from the bottom of that tank there out to a fuel pump and then straight to the car, which does have a fuel regulator tucked in down there, so we'll be able to adjust the pressure once she's all up and running. And then yeah, I have gone and got these little I guess spacers just to suit that little dip there in the tank. So they're going to get bolted on there. It's got a little thread in there, so they'll get bolted to the boot floor. Yeah, a couple of AN fittings in. Yeah, you might be able to see the baffling in there, but not really. But yeah, easy. So I'm going to start drilling some holes and getting this thing mounted up. So fuel cell is officially mounted, and I have got the fuel pump all rigged up. All right, we're going to stop that clip right there because yeah, I had put the wrong fuel pump in, and 044 is miles too much pressure for a car that only needs about 7 psi to run. So yeah, I had yeah, balls up there and put the wrong fuel pump in, but nevertheless, we're going to scratch the rest of this install because I pulled it apart pretty quickly after to put in, yeah, this pump. And then yeah, once I got it all rigged up, it finally clicked to me that I don't need 60 psi, I need 7. So I have yeah, put the wrong fuel pump in, to say the least. So that has now been pulled out, and I've got myself one of these things. So it's a Aeroflow red fuel pump. So they say out the box these things are 7 psi. So hopefully that's true, and we can just, yeah, plumb that back up, wire that back in. So they reckon these pumps need to be mounted upright, not laying down. So I found this bracket, I don't know what it's from, but it was in my box of bits. So I'm gonna stick that in the boot and yeah, mount the pump like so up on there. And yeah, just using those same AN fittings in and out. Couple of wires to crimp on. And yeah, should be good to go. There she is, all nicely rigged up. Please don't judge my fabricating. Works, it works. But yeah, she's all rigged up. I can start it, but I just bought one of these things. Finally, because I've done it very dodgy over all these years. So I'll get that rigged up on the rad so I can bleed this up properly, and then I'll fire it up. Check the gauges, I guess check for leaks, and yeah, we'll be looking good. Looks pretty good. All right, let's fire this thing up. Fuel pump makes noises. Fuel pressure rises. I think we'll call that a success. Fuck, that is loud. Sick. I'm fucking almost done. Yes. Last thing to do is just weld these tips on. So they're dumping at the rear wheels, which I'm just going to do now. I'm definitely no welder, so please don't judge me on my welding. I kind of just point and shoot. But yeah, nothing leaks. Stoked as, especially with that steam pot kit. That was always a bit dodgy, I thought, in my eyes, but she's ready. Rowdy and ready. I do just have to give these wheels out here a bit of a tidy up. So I bought 8 of the finest wheels I could find. What were they? 25 bucks a piece. So I'm just gonna give those a clean up, hit those with some black. Oh, then we're ready. Holy. Feels real now actually for some reason. Quite stoked. Don't mind the leakage, that's just a bit of overflow. Pumped. So pumped. Alright, let's get these tips welded on and yeah, call it done. Ready for skids. So yeah, these little tippy lalas that I got. I'm just gonna butter on there. Boom. Butt that one on there. Boom. Blast the smoke out. So yeah, I just have to give these a bit of a clean up around here and we'll zap them on. Just gave these ends a bit of a clean up. Nothing fancy. Now, if you want to see some good welding, this is not the channel. If you want to see some better welding than mine, go down to your local jetty, your local wharf, and go look at all the seagull shit on the handrail. You'll probably get a better result. But, as long as I can glue them on there, and they stay there, I'll be happy. The main purpose is to just shoot the exhaust in that direction. Go. It's not the finest bird shit you'll ever see. Ground it down and give it a bit of black on there so it doesn't look as bad, but they're on, they're pointing in the right direction. Right, that's us done. Test day, Burnout comp, first one in I think it's 3 weeks. Chrome, which is held in Auckland at Hampton Downs, and then I think we go to Mary, which is the drag strip next door, for burnouts as well. So that's where you'll see me testing this thing out. I will do a video on the whole experience, I guess, my first burnout comp, the first drive and whatnot. Still need to touch base on this. I have taken it for a bit of a test drive. There's a few gremlins. Main one was the alternator wasn't charging, but I think I know why, because I never cleaned off the paint that I painted the alternator with, so it's not grounding properly. And a few other small things, but we'll touch on that in another video. So yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, we'll see you guys again soon. Yes, don't forget, that shed there, it's coming, it's coming. I want to kind of crack it out pretty soon, so maybe even this weekend I might do a bit of an introduction of what's in that shed that I've been hiding away for almost a couple of months now. But yeah, all right, later, bye.